What's up YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we're now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the year, which lands literally December 31st. Is it possible? Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a collector's rare, because I also pulled this. Freshly pulled out of my Genesis Impact box opening that I did a few months back is a collector's rare Beat Cop from the Underworld. This card looks absolutely beautiful. Obviously the centering is a bit off from top to bottom, but honestly it really doesn't make much of a damn, because I am going to be getting this card graded, but I never really came up with a good opportunity to do so. But with that being said, excuse me. With that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It'll also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which ties with which is basically part of today's video, which is this. Among the card as it sits, what are you guys' predictions for NXT Deadline 2023? Let me know down in the comments below, because for today's video, I am going to be revealing my predictions for NXT Deadline. And honestly, looking at this card, this is probably one of the most stacked cards we have had in quite some time for NXT. In fact, I think, if I'm right on this, NXT No Mercy was a bit of an interesting card, as was as well the Great American Bash, which was a bit of an interesting one as well. So it's pretty crazy to see how far NXT has come since No Mercy. And even I'm one to admit, looking at this card, I can tell you one thing right now, shit is gonna get real and it ain't gonna be pretty. So let's get straight into it with the kickoff show. This match was supposed to happen last night on NXT, but because of the brawl involving the women of the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge, it didn't go so well. Unfortunately, the match ended in a no contest. So this Saturday, they're going to resolve the issues once and for all between Axiom and Nathan Frazer. Obviously, again as I mentioned, excuse me, these two guys have a healthy respect for one another. Obviously, they're good friends, but Axiom said some things that actually offended Nathan Frazer, and it didn't really work out so well, honestly. But I will say this. I will say this. Both these guys are absolutely are just some of the most incredible talent that we had seen in quite some time. But my money is on Axiom. I think just the fact that he's a bit more agile than Frazer, and I think also he's a bit more cunning in the ring, I guess, than Nathan Frazer. Even though Nathan was trained by Seth freaking Rollins, Axiom is Axiom. Let's just put it that way. But next up, we have a sort of a grudge match, I want to say, between Carmelo Hayes and Lexis King. Now, you guys are probably curious about who this Lexis King dude is. So, well, he's actually the son of the legendary late great Brian Pillman. Lexis King is Brian Pillman Jr. And apparently Lexis King didn't. Apparently he doesn't want to be referred to, as Brian Pillman's son, I guess. Why? I don't know. That's just him. But this basically started November 17th. That literally it was just a few weeks ago. And apparently Lexis King had supposedly attacked Trick Williams, and well, you guys already know. You guys already know. Carmelo Hayes says that he didn't do it. Lexis King said that he didn't do it. Trick believes that Carmelo texted Lexis King, and honestly, at this point, it's hard to figure out who to believe. Excuse me, if that makes sense. But honestly, with how much of a hothead Carmelo Hayes has been, obviously Lexis King is gonna want to exploit that. He's gonna want to try to exploit that weakness within Melo, and I think that might give him the victory. But Melo has been a part of NXT for 3-4 years now. There's no way that Carmelo would lose, but he has lost a few times over the last month or so. So, but my money is on Lexis King. I think at this point now, the truth has to come out. Someone attacked Trick Williams, but we need to know who did it. And with the fact that Trick Williams is now a part of the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge, one could assume that Trick Williams might get hit, he might get attacked backstage, and it won't be pretty. It won't be pretty. And thanks to that NXT NXT Anonymous, the truth will come out. Will come out eventually. So, but my money is definitely on Lexis King. Speaking of grudge matches, we have a grudge match, a steel cage grudge match between Roxanne Perez and Kiana James. Obviously, both these women have been at each other's throats for quite the minute, and Kiana James cost Roxanne Perez a spot in the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Roxanne Perez did the exact same thing to Kiana, and Kiana last night in that Fatal 4-Way basically ensured that Roxanne Perez didn't qualify from that last chance Fatal 4-Way to the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge, which was obviously won by Fallon Henley. And now apparently Ava has now been a sort of like a messenger, I guess, like a messenger manager of sorts, where now not only did she make the match between Lexis King and Carmella Hayes official, but also Roxanne Perez and Kiana James has also been made official as well inside the Steel. And honestly, Kiana James has no idea what she got herself into. She knows that Roxanne Perez will, is still young. She's still, quote unquote, learning the ropes of WWE. But let's not forget, Roxanne Perez has been a part of Weapons Wild matches. She's been a part of so many different match types that Roxanne will do whatever the hell it takes to win. And in this case, it'll be no different. It will be no different. Honestly, Kiana James definitely has her work cut out for her. So my money is definitely going to be on Roxanne Perez. Next up, originally it was supposed to have been Dominic Mysterio versus Wesley for the NXT North American title, but we found out last night on NXT that he's going to be having back surgery, which is going to put him out for up to about a year, which it's heartbreaking because last week, a couple weeks ago? I think it was like last week or something. Wesley defeated not only Cameron Grimes, but also Bronson Reed and DIY's Johnny Gargano in a Fatal 4-Way to earn the right to challenge Dom for the title, but it was all for naught. Obviously, yes, Wesley is owed that one-on-one opportunity, so I'm sure that both Ava and Shawn Michaels will give Wesley that opportunity when he returns. But at this point now, what do? Who does Wesley pick to replace him at NXT Deadline? Answer: Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee will be making his return back to NXT for the first time in well over 2 months, funny enough. And guess who will be in the corner of Dragon Lee? If you guys commented Rey Mysterio, or figured it would be Rey Mysterio, you're right. It will be the Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio in the corner of Dragon Lee, taking on Rey's own son Dom for the North American title. Obviously, the last time these two fought, Dragon Lee got screwed. He got screwed out of the title because of the Judgment Day, and now let's be real. It's gonna happen again. Dom is gonna use the Judgment Day to bail him out of this match, and it ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be pretty. Dragon Lee's gonna lose. I don't even know why we're talking about it. I'm just being real. Like, I'll admit if Rey Mysterio were to have like brought someone else, like say, I don't know, the rest of the LWO, then you know what? Maybe Dragon Lee would have a chance. But we'll see. We'll see. But for now, my money is on Dom for the sole reason that he's gonna have the Judgment Day helping him out, and that's pretty much it. That's literally all there is to it, actually. But now we move into the main event. Before before we talk about the men's and the women's Iron Survivor challenges, we do have to talk about probably one of the most important matches in NXT history between Ilya Dragunov and Baron Corbin for the NXT title. Here's the thing. Baron Corbin had multiple opportunities at the NXT title when he was in NXT the first time. It didn't work out so well. This time, he has everything to gain, and he has everything to lose. Because Corbin said on Corey Graves' podcast After the Bell months ago that he doesn't know how much time he has left in WWE in professional wrestling. He doesn't know, and he wants to make use of every opportunity that is presented to him. And this one is no different. He's got to make good use of his time in NXT, especially with this Saturday going up against the Mad Dragon. And the Mad Dragon, woohoo, Ilya Dragunov is one tough son of a bitch. Let's just be real on that. If you don't believe me, you can ask guys like Gunther, ask guys like Nathan Fraser, ask guys like Shaw Samuels and who else can I name? Tyler Bates, Trent Seven, all these guys who in NXT UK challenged Dragunov and failed miserably. Think about that. It's wild. Absolutely wild. But it comes down to who needs this victory more, Corbin or Dragunov. And honestly, that's a bit of a trick question because both men need the title. Baron Corbin needs the title to cement his legacy. To cement his legacy, and to finally, become a world champion of sorts. Excuse me. And he can finally truly put the past behind him and focus on the future, where as opposed to Dragunov, if he retains the title, he'll be setting an example for his family, for his son, who obviously Dragunov has mentioned his son, over the last several months, over the last year or so, again, he wants to set an example for him, and maybe it might convince his son to want to be in WWE in the future, which, honestly, I'm all for it. I wouldn't mind seeing his son be a part of the WWE 10, 15 years from now, which it's possible, but we will have to see over time. But honestly, as big of a fan as I am of Baron Corbin, and as much respect as I do have for Corbin, there's no way in hell that he can stand up against Dragunov, especially especially with last night, with that face-to-face. Dragunov was fired up. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to say the very least, but if I had to pick, I would say Corbin, but I gotta go with Ilya Dragunov on this one. I think Dragunov needs this victory more than Corbin, because if Corbin wins, obviously yes, it would mean that Corbin is finally world champion, but it would also mean that NXT is gonna get a bit of a facelift. But if Dragunov were to win, there's no telling what will happen next for Dragunov. But now we move into the men's and the women's Iron Survivor challenges, and for those who are new to watching NXT, the rules of the rules for the Iron Survivor challenge are very, very simple. Two men obviously, but two superstars will start the match. after every 5 minutes, another competitor will enter, and this will go on until all five superstars have entered, which means that there would be only 10 minutes left on the clock. However, during the process in which superstars are entering the match, if you pin your opponent or make your opponent submit, that superstar must go into the penalty box and must stay there for 90 seconds. And then after that 90 seconds, they're allowed to enter back into the match. And whoever scores the most points at the end of the 25 minutes will not only become the Iron Survivor, but for the women, they will challenge Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Women's title, and for the men, they will challenge either Ilya Dragunov or Baron Corbin for the NXT title at a later date. So, who are the competitors? Well, for the men, you've got Dijak, Trick Williams, Josh Briggs, Braun Breaker, and Tyler Bate, who won the Last Chance Fatal 4-Way last night on NXT. And for the women, you've got Tiffany Stratton, Lash Legend, Blair Davenport, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley. Honestly, here's the thing. Tiffany Stratton, if I remember correctly, if I remember right, I believe Tiffany Stratton was a part of last year's matchup. Give me 1 second, guys. I believe she was. No, she was not. No, she wasn't, actually. Okay, so, obviously, not one of these superstars has been a part of the Iron Survivor Challenge. So obviously there is quite a bit at stake for these women and for the men as well. But the question is, who exactly does this match favor? Honestly, it favors no one. It favors no one because with these types of matches, it's unpredictable. You don't know who's gonna score the first fall. You don't know who's gonna try and make the most pinfall attempts or whatnot. No one knows. But as far as who the odds-on favorites are on the women's side, it's definitely Kalani Jordan, because Kalani has been on a huge roll as of late, not only making it all the way to the finals of the women's breakout tournament, but she's also had a couple of huge victories over the last couple of months, and that right there makes her probably the odds-on favorite. But the wild card in this whole thing is definitely Lash Legend, because the thing is with Lash Legend, she's never been a champion before in WWE. The only ones who have been champion are Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley. Blair Davenport, on the other hand, she's basically considered the dark horse of this whole matchup, mainly because of the fact that she attacked Wendy Chu, put her on the shelf for a hot minute. She put Nikita Lyons on the shelf, and she came back last night on NXT, kicking the head off of Blair Davenport. Obviously, she's put a lot of superstars on the shelf for quite some time, and I think that's what's gonna make. I think that's what makes Blair Davenport part so dangerous is that she can put you on the shelf at any given time. But I think the one person who I think is gonna win the whole thing in terms of the women, hands down, as crazy as it sounds, I think it's gonna be Fallon Henley. I think people are starting to sleep on her, and people are forgetting that she's a former tag team champion. So that right there, she's basically like the forgotten one, if you will. And I think people are gonna see Fallon Henley really shine in the women's Iron Survivor Challenge. But as far as the men go, hands down, odds-on favorite is Trick Williams. The wild card definitely is going to be Dijak, but the dark horse, crazy enough, is going to be Tyler Bate. I don't even think I need to say any more. But as far as who I think is going to win, as crazy as it sounds, I think it's gonna be Josh Briggs. I think with the fact that Briggs is sort of like the dark horse, if you will, it's sort of like another like dark horse in this matchup. People forget that when he was wrestling on the Independents, he was a champion. He had won championships in every promotion that he was in, including NXT UK, becoming a tag team champion over there. And come on, really? Let's be real. Honestly, I think it's gonna be Briggs. I think it's gonna be Briggs. He's gonna pull it off, and we might see him become NXT champion. But with that being said, you guys, that will do it. Excuse me. That will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It'll also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.